welcome back to today's tutorial. We're continuing from the last project we did, and I saved my own on the desktop in a folder called web1. So I open it, right click on it, select edit with notepad++. Now I have done this. Now we can just launch it and see how it is. Make sure everything is intact. Okay, so we want to put list of programming languages below the authentication here. Now we are continuing from there. Okay, we could, even without CSS style, or work very nicely. So I'm introducing HR tag with size of 4 and color of the white FF, 6 of them. Okay, so we end it there. So we're now continuing with list, and we're going to list web programming languages we need to learn in this particular course. So I can start the heading as H2. List of web programming languages, so H2. So that is the heading I've created, which you are already aware. So the next thing we need to do is now start with the two type of lists we have. We have two types of lists: ordered list and unordered list. The unordered list is UL. So you open UL and close it. UL. Okay, so that is the unordered list. Now we introduce the li tag, that is for the list. So we all know we have HTML. So the first list, sorry, I had to pause the video. So we have li, that is for the list, but this is a nested list we're creating. The major group of lists we're creating is the UL, and that's an ordered list. So the UL is open and closed below. The rest of the list you now want to list will be within the UL list. So we simply repeat that li, and we go to CSS li. Then we have li again. We go to JavaScript. Okay, so we have li and PHP. So each of the lists and its corresponding closing tag. Then the last one we said we'll be learning in this tutorial is MySQL. And okay, so let's save it and run it and see how it looks like launching Chrome. So you see that. Okay, now see that it's bold. It means that the H2 was not closed, so it did not end when the browser read up to this point. Now I've closed it, the browser will read up to this end and close it, and know that, and the browser knows that the heading 1 has ended there. So now look at how it now be rendered. So you see that. Okay, so that is the main reason why you have to close your tags. If you don't close it, the content below it will be read as that tag. Okay, now we have the UL here, which you can add attributes to the UL, and you can put a type as this circle for the unordered kind of list. You see, so it will change the style to circle, and square too, you can change it to square. The type of list you are creating, you can change it to square. Okay, so you see that. So there are various shapes that you can change it to. Okay, so that is for the UL type of list. So I simply copy the UL list, copy it below, and change the UL to OL. So it's the same format, only that the UL has to change to OL, and here type cannot be square because these are ordered lists. It will number them in a particular sequential order that you will choose to number them. So by default we have 1, 2, 3. You did not put numbering here, but because here is OL and the list is within the ordered list, it will order them in a particular sequence. So if I put I here, we'll be getting Roman numerals in lowercase. You can change that to capital I, and that will be Roman numerals in uppercase, but what just happened was in lowercase, sorry. Now you can change it to A, B, C in that order, and look at how. So you can change it in either, you can order them in letters, in Roman numerals, or normal letters. So let's just change to Roman numerals. Okay, so that is it for lists that you can create. So there are two types of lists we can create: ordered lists and unordered lists, that is UL. Okay, the next thing that we'll be considering is we're going to consider looking at tables, how to do tables in HTML, and we start with the table tag. You open and close the table tag like this. So you have the table tag. Now in table tag is a bit complicated, but pay attention and you'll be able to achieve that. So the table tag, in between the table tag we have the TR, and the TR stands for the table row TR. So this long space like this is called the TR, that is the table row. So within table row we'll have table data, and that represents the table the cells in Excel that you usually type in your information. So table data, so we can put here name, that's the first table data, and the second table data, like I said, the table data is just like a cell in Excel, table data. So TD age, and we put a last table data here called, let's say, sex TD. Okay, now let me save that. I've saved that, so let's launch it and see how it looks like. So you see name, age. Now you need to put an attribute in the table called border, assign it to 1, and there will be a border around the table data or the table cells like this. Okay, then the next attribute we need to put is width, how wide the table should be. So let's make it 70% of the page. That means it should cover 70% of the page. The table should cover 70% of the page, and you can see the extension from this point to that point. Okay, now that is the first table row we have created. By logic, we can create another table row that will take into consideration the data that will match with the columns or the headings we have created above. So now I can put a name like this. Okay, that's my table data. Then the second one, so it means that the first table data will match with the first table data in the first row. So this is first row, this is second row. So the first row is open and close here, the second row is open and close below here. The table data follows. So let me just run that or reload that and we see. So So you see that the first row is aligned to the corresponding name. Now we need to add the second table data, and guess what we will do there? What will we do? I think we'll be putting the age of the person. Okay, table data. So let me run that. We see, you see, so it has appeared to match the second column. Okay, then the last one we'll be creating is sex and male table data. So you see how the table works. So the first row took into consideration the column headings we wanted to do. The second will now follow by the information. So this is the first row and this is the second row. So if we want to add the next person information, we can put this, we can copy the second table row, make sure it has an opening and closing here. So we change the name here to let's say Hassan Baba, and age let's say 16, and sex we'll leave it there. Let me run that and we see. So you see, and you can add the third one, add the third row, and we can name this call, let's say Cletus Alugni, the same thing. So let's add the next person, let's say Mary, and the age 19, female. Okay, so we have added enough rows for our work. So you have the table there, and this is how you go with tables in HTML. To add much to design the table nicely, we can include something we call cell padding, and that is the spacing within the cells, cell padding, and we can give it 0. We have cell spacing, the space between the cells, and we can also give that one to 0. So now the table will now be nicely formatted and those borders are taken out. Okay, so the last thing I want you to know is that the table data we did here, you can change the main headings to TH, and it will still work for you for the headings, so that the headings will look deeper and centered to indicate that these are your headings. TH is for table head, and it will work for you. Change the first row table data to table head, and you will have it rendered like this. I said there we have it well arranged. Thank you for watching this video tutorial. Watch out for the next tutorial.